Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the process on how to rent an apartment in Dubai. This will be based on our experience here, my husband and I. A lot of things are based on what we went through when we were looking for an apartment here. And I will explain all about the cost, the deposit that you have to put in when renting an apartment here. Now, I was not here when my husband was looking for an apartment. And first thing first, we looked up online, of course, for the potential apartment that we are looking to live in. And we were looking at a few places, but then we have our heart set on this particular location that we are in now, which is Jebel Ali. We came across a few online property type of site. One of them is BURJ and Property Finder, and as well as Dubizzle. We personally went for Dubizzle one because a lot of the listing on there are closer to the price range that we are looking for. The one on BURJ site are very nice, but a lot of them are beyond what we want to spend on when it comes to rent. One very important point when looking for apartment in Dubai is to beware of scam. We were almost scammed because we were looking at this one place in the JUMEIRAH Lakes Tower. It was very nice, it looks very nice, and then we contacted the person who listed the apartment. It was kind of sketchy because she emailed my husband and said that we should put down some money and transfer it to her. So that's when we caught on that something is not right. Always go to view the property in person with an agent, and you can always ask for the agent's card because a registered agent would have a card that says they are attached to a certain real estate company. So do take note on that. And like I said, when we were looking for an apartment, we tried to stay within our budget, and we budgeted for not more than 4,000 dirham per month, because I always hear in financial advice type of video that you should look for rental that are at most 30% or less is even better for you. Considering that we are expatriate, we wanted to keep everything as low as possible because we do have to think about the cost of flights whenever there is emergency in our home country. We want to be able to save money as well as enjoy our money by traveling, and we want to be able to allocate some money to parents or our family members who need it. And luckily we ended up with this apartment, and this apartment cost us 28,000 dirham per year. That is the trend that you are going to see on property website in Dubai. They would list their property in yearly basis when it comes to rent, but some owners do let you split the payments into multiple checks. In our case, my husband managed to negotiate our rent to be split into 6 checks, meaning every 2 months the owner would cash in the check and it will be taken out of our account. If we were to split 28,000 dirham into monthly payment, it will be around 2,333, that was hard to say, per month on average. But there are also other fees that has to be paid or deposited upfront when you want to move into an apartment, which is why you are watching this video, and I'm going to get right into that. The first thing is the checks, which mean as soon as my husband signed the contract, he will have to submit all the 6 checks to the agent that showed us this property, and from there the owner would cash in the first check right away, meaning we have to pay for 2 months rent in advance, which amounts to 4,666. On top of that, there will be an agent fee of between 5% to 10% out of whole year rent. So ours was around 9%, which is 2,500 dirham. And we also have to pay for 5% security deposit for this unit, and that is about 1,500 to the owner, just in case we mess things up at the end of our tenancy. As soon as you sign the contract, what you need to do is to go to the Ijari center to register your tenancy agreement, meaning we are letting the institution know that we are renting this place and we have all these legal documents saying that we rent a place from this owner. And this step is very important to protect your right as a tenant, just in case anything happens. Ijari registration will cost you around 270 dirham. After that, you could register for the connection of water and electricity, and it is done via Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, which is DECOR for short. And for that, you have to pay a deposit of 2,130 dirham. Your electricity and water will be connected within 24 hours. Other than that is some optional costs such as Wi-Fi connection. I've talked a little bit about Wi-Fi in my last video. If you want to know more about that, you can click up here. And the next optional thing is smart gas. Some buildings do provide smart gas. It is already installed, but you need to have someone to come and connect it. In our case, we had to pay the deposit for 909 dirham, which is quite high, but we do cook every day, so that's something we knew we wanted to have, especially because we don't have a big counter space where we can put something like induction cooker for us to cook. It would just take up a lot of space that we don't have much to begin with. So we went for the smart gas, and on a monthly basis we have to snap a picture of the meter and send it to the person in charge, and they will send us the bill for us to pay online. In total, for the first 2 months rental, meaning the first check that gets cashed in by the owner, is 4,666, agent fee of 2,005, security deposit of 1,500, dewa deposit of 2,130 dirham, ijari fee of 270 dirham, also smart gas for 909 dirham. Now all together it is 11,975 dirham. It is definitely a lot of money. That is something that you need to prepare before you come to Dubai, so that you are not surprised on how much you actually need to start your life here. And that is not including furnishing the apartment, buying the first round of big groceries and household supplies. It does not include visa processing fee for yourself, or if you have a wife, you will need to pay for that as well. And another important thing about renting long term in Dubai, meaning more than 6 months, you have to have Emirates ID, which means you have to get a residence visa before that. That is another cost. And for you to be able to have a checkbook, you have to be employed by a company, and you have to open a bank account which your salary will get paid out into that account. Only then you will get the checkbook for you to rent a place. For example, if you're not paying in full for the entire year, let's say if you are self-employed or a freelancer, I heard from a real estate agent that you will need to have a indemnity letter, meaning you will have to have sort of a guarantor, otherwise you will have to do a bank transfer in full. When my husband first moved to Dubai, he did not move into this place straight away. His first month, the accommodation was provided by his employer, so he stayed in a hotel for a month. That gives him the time to process his residence visa and eventually get his Emirate ID for him to be able to rent long term. Before he moved into this place, he rented a room. A lot of places do provide shared house, meaning you only rent a room. He stayed in the Dubai Marina Boya area, which he paid 2,000 dirham, almost close to our rental here, but it was all inclusive, meaning inclusive of electricity charges, water, and all of that. And he stayed there for almost 2 months before he moved here. And then after 3 months of him being in Dubai, that's when I moved in here with him as well. So you might want to look at something like that temporarily before moving into something permanent. The last thing that you might wondering is, how do you get drinking water? I noticed some of the tenants here do get the water subscription. They will send 10 gallon of water every week to their unit, and you have to pay, I believe, around between 10 to 15 dirham per, like, the big bottle. But we live in such a limited space, we don't want the entire bottle to take up space on our counter, so we opt for a Breda filter, which is like a jug where you can fill in water and it will just filter the water through, and you guys can put it in your fridge if you want it chilled. Aside from that, another important tip for you to find a place in Dubai is to look for chiller free place. A lot of listing would put chiller free in the title of the listing, which means you will get air conditioning for free. Because Dubai is a city with super hot climate, you would be spending a lot of money on electricity bill if it wasn't included in your rent in the first place. So do take note on that. That is basically a simple guide on how to rent an apartment in Dubai. And if you are looking to know more about the cost of living in Dubai per month, I did share mine in the previous video here, and it entails the apartment rent, bills, insurance, grocery, and all of that. So you can click on that, or I will link it at the end of this video, together with a playlist of my moving to Dubai series, which I will slowly share the important steps and process info that you should know before moving to Dubai. And the next video would be my apartment tour, which I will share you what we get for the price we pay every month. And make sure you click the notification bell so you get notified when I post it. And thank you so much for watching, and see you guys again next time. Bye.